Hey everyone, my name is Bridget and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be an introduction to the channel itself, but it's also going to be me introducing you to all of my pets. As I go along with this channel, I am going to be showing you just the fun parts of me owning the animals and their little quirks and shenanigans, but I'm also going to do some educational types of videos. I will always disclaim in any of those that I know that I'm not the master of animals and I'm not the one that you should just listen to all the time. I will always say that you should do your own research, do things that work best for you, but I will be sharing what works for me and how I've managed to keep my animals happy and healthy and thriving rather than just surviving. At the moment, I have 7 pets and some of them are your traditional, you know, just everyday pets that you would see, and then a couple of them are not so traditional, more exotic types. Currently, I have 2 cats, 2 lizard types, 1 frog, a betta fish, and a snail. Now some of these animals I'm not going to be able to actually get out and show you guys, but I will have clips that I can play while I'm talking about them so that you can kind of get a feel for what they look like, what they're like, and their enclosures. So I'm gonna start this off with my 2 cats. I have a male and a female. The female lives inside with us and the male does live outside. And I know that a lot of people disagree with keeping cats outside, but where we live and his personality, he's just a huge boy, tomcat, barn cat. So he likes to live outside, we listen to him, that's what he loves. But first I want to introduce you guys to our female inside cat. Her name is Nugget. She doesn't like to be held mostly. She likes to be touched on her terms only, so we're gonna see how this goes. All right, so I have Nugget here. She is our almost 4-year-old Maine Coon. She is such a big, lovely baby. She currently weighs 14 pounds, so she's pretty large. Like I said, she doesn't like to be held when it's not her terms, so she's gonna get mad at me here for a second, but I will have other clips of her as well that I can show you guys so you can kind of get a feel for her. And I do also have a story time coming up with her because she had a very rough start, but this is Nugget. So like I said, Nugget is our almost 4-year-old Maine Coon. She is our oldest baby and she's the one that we have had the longest. She is very lazy. She really loves her treats and she is extremely spoiled. She does have a couple of medical issues that I will get into whenever I do her story time, but she is our little prized possession. She is our child basically, and we love her very, very dearly. All right, so I just went to go look outside for Chester and he is currently asleep in the barn and I cannot get to him, so I will not be able to show you him in my hands here, but I will have some clips for you guys that you can see little Chester outside. He is just a regular cream tabby that showed up one day. He showed up as this tiny little skinny thing and we have since nurtured him and brought him up to the health that he is now. He also weighs 14 pounds and I know some of you guys are gonna be like, wow, you guys really feed your pets a lot or feed your cats a lot. Your cats are too heavy. But these cats, like if you know anything about the Maine Coon breed, they are really big cats as it is. And then Chester is just a big, strong, muscular little man of a cat. He's just massive. And so he's not overweight either. He doesn't have like fat, extra fat hanging off of him or anything. He is just a strong, sturdy man cat. And Chester is our little sweetie that lives outside. He catches all the mice and all of the lizards and everything else. He's just the greatest little hunter. He loves to just run around, scratch up the tree, he'll climb up the tree. He likes to roll around in the dirt, and then when we bring him inside the house to hang out with us, he tracks it all inside. And even though he does live outside, he's truly happy outside. So even though I do worry about him, I worry about him tremendously being outside. That is where he's the most happy, and so I can't take that from him. Yeah, so those are our cats, and now I'm gonna get started on our lizards. All right, so our next pet here is Phoebe. She is our bearded dragon. Phoebe is almost 3 years old. She'll be 3 years old next month on April 15th. So she was born in 2015 and we got her when she was only 3 months old in July of 2015. So we've had her for almost 3 years. And this girl is my pride and joy. This girl right here was my first love when it comes to reptiles. I'd always been really into reptiles and lizards, catch them all the time as a kid. You know, if a gecko got in the bathtub, I would catch it and put it back outside. I was always playing with lizards. So I knew that when I became an adult, I wanted to have reptiles in my possession. And so a friend of mine actually had a bearded dragon, and I had never been around it before. And so I just fell in love with him immediately. I knew that I wanted one myself. So we waited a little while and we actually decided to get a bearded dragon from PetSmart. Yeah, it didn't go well. We only had that bearded dragon for about 2 weeks and didn't work out for medical reasons. So then we ended up getting little Phoebes here from a local breeder in San Antonio, and she's been such a joy ever since. Currently right now, you can see her belly is very, very plump. She is carrying infertile eggs right now. She's been doing her normal breeding season behavior, so she is getting ready to plop out those eggs any moment. I've currently got her lay box and everything in her enclosure, so she's ready to go. Just waiting on it to happen. Now her breed is a Hypo citrus tiger bearded dragon. She's got this wonderful yellow and orange coloration, and it used to be more prominent when she was little, but she does have like the tiger stripes along her sides here, these little black marks. They're not as prominent now. She has lost a little bit of that as she's aged, but her color is still really beautiful, and she is about 22 inches long. She's a very, very big girl, and she has always weighed a lot as well. We've done tests and everything on her at the vet, and she is a very healthy, well-loved, maintained girl. Alrighty, so our next little baby is this little leopard gecko here. His name is Twigs. He is a little over a year old. We got him September of last year, about 10 days before he turned a year old. He's done very well. I also have a little bit of a story time for him. So I'll do a video on him as well, because when we got him, he was a little tiny, skinny little guy, and we have since gotten him nice and chunked up. He now eats like a pro, sheds like a pro. We've never had an issue except for his very first shed because he was not using his humid hide, but ever since then, he's had perfect A+ sheds every single time. Now his breed is considered a dark Mack Snow. I know a lot of you guys have heard of the Mack Snow gene, but he's actually considered a dark Mack Snow, and this is probably the closest to a normal. Now I had a normal leopard gecko in mind whenever I got this guy. Woo, he's going crazy, but that didn't work out. They actually sold that to someone else. So I saw this little one and I thought, well, he's perfect. I'm gonna get him, and it worked out. And now he's just the sweetest little thing. So I'm gonna put him back because he's not usually out in the living room with us. So I'm gonna go put him back in his tank, and I'll be right back. So I just realized that I haven't actually been telling you guys anything about their enclosures, so I'm gonna do that now. We keep Phoebe in a custom built enclosure that her breeder actually built for us. Phoebe's enclosure is 48 inches wide, 24 inches deep, and 18 inches tall. Her enclosure has about 1 square foot less floor space than a 150-gallon aquarium. Her enclosure isn't exactly how I like it to be designed, but she has to have her lay box in there right now, so she's got her little cave hide, her lay box, her basking rocks, and just a couple of little other decorations in there, and that's about it. On this tank as well, it has acrylic doors that are on the front, and on those acrylic doors, there are these really adorable little door pulls that are shaped like bearded dragons, make it really easy to get in and out without getting fingerprints everywhere. And they look so cute because Phoebe is a bearded dragon, they're bearded dragons, and I just love it. We keep Twigs in an Exoterra 18 by 18 by 12, so it's 18 inches wide, 18 inches deep, and 12 inches tall. So this enclosure is actually about 16 gallons. So in his enclosure, he does have a rock hide for his humid hide, and he has a little tree hide for his hot hide, which he can also climb on top of either of those and hang out. And I do keep a little jungle vine in there that he does actually climb. I also have a little plant in there just to give a little bit of enrichment. I have his water dish, and he has made it very easy for me to clean his tank because he goes to the restroom in the exact same corner. So that is where I have the paper towels and everything ready for him, and it is such a breeze to keep him clean in that enclosure. So our next little exotic type of pet is our newest pet, and I'm not going to take him out because upon filming this video, we got him about 10 days ago. So he's still adjusting. He's doing very well, but he is such a little guy, and just because of the type of animal that he is, I don't feel comfortable handling him. But I will show you some clips of him in his tank and his actual enclosure. So our next pet is a baby Pacman Frog, and his name is Button. Now I don't know if it's male or female, obviously, because you can't tell the sex of them until they're around a year old. So I'm just gonna refer to him as a he, but I don't know, we could have a female in the future. So Button is an albino Pacman Frog, which just means that some of those recessive traits have been removed. So it just gives them their lighter color and a little bit of a lack of a pattern on their backs, and it gives them red, sensitive eyes. Now, this little guy is very, very young, very little. He's only about 9 weeks old. When we first got him, he was only the size of about a quarter. And that is way too small for any pet store or breeder to sell them. They are only supposed to sell them at around 3 months of age and at about 2 inches from nose to tail, or nose to butt, I guess you could say. And he was only about 1 inch from nose to butt and about 8 weeks old. So I do worry that things can go south very easily. He's eating well, he's pooping well, he's getting enough moisture and heat and everything else, and so he's growing. We did take a little photo next to a quarter the other day, and he's grown about 1/2 inch. So that tells me that I'm doing things right and that he is really thriving, and I'm very excited about that. We keep Button in a 10-gallon aquarium. I know that is kind of big for a baby, but he really doesn't move around very much, and he does have very quick access to his water dish and everything. His temperatures are correct. He's got a couple of plants in there. One of his plants is really huge. He doesn't actually have a hide specifically, but this allows a lot of coverage on the top of the tank to feel very secure. Just because of how the leaves like drape over him, it's very protective. He has his little shallow water dish, which is very tiny, but it's actually very perfect for him right now because his body is so tiny. All right, so our last 2 animals are aquatic animals, and they are a betta fish and a mystery snail. I know that betta is actually pronounced Betta, but I'm a 30-year-old woman who has said betta her entire life, and so I can't really change that now. So he is known as a betta fish to me. So our little betta boy is named Cozy, and he is a gorgeous teal and maroon and black and light blue, just a mixture of all different colors betta fish. He is a Twintail Halfmoon betta, and he is not as full as most of the Twintail Halfmoon bettas are, and that's because he does have some fin damage. In the back, he does have a little bit of like shredding, what you would say, on his fins, and on some of the sides and one of his dorsal fins he does have curling. When we bought him, he had this damage, and I'm obviously trying my best to reverse those symptoms, but I'm honestly not sure if those symptoms can be reversed. I'm not sure if his fins will actually ever be totally normal again. So Cozy is already about 1 year old. We actually adopted him at the beginning of February from a local breeder. He was supposed to go to someone else, but that person changed their mind, and so he actually lived in his cup for about 3 weeks before we adopted him. I just think his colors are really beautiful. I love the maroon color, and I love his teal color, and especially when it shines in the light. Our mystery snail we just got at the exact same time that we got Button. We were looking in the aquatic section and we saw these little mystery snails, and I thought they were so precious, and I was like, you know what, I want to get one. They had a bunch of different mystery snails there, but these were the golden mystery snails. And so we decided to get one. He's a little bit smaller than he's going to get. He's probably gonna double in size. And I don't know how old he is, but he's doing really well so far. And we decided to name him Carl. And Carl just likes to run around the tank looking for things to eat. He loves zucchini. I've tried to put some apple in there, and he doesn't really go for the apple very often. He immediately goes for the zucchini, and so I feel like that's definitely his favorite, and I'll keep him, you know, on the zucchini as long as he wants. So I keep the 2 of them in a Fluval Spec V. That's their 5-gallon aquarium, and I absolutely love this aquarium. I am going to do a video on it just showing kind of how it works and the filtration media and everything else. So look for that in the future if you're interested. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for this video. Those are all of my pets. We find so much joy in these animals. They each have their own little unique personalities. I do plan on doing a little bit of individual videos for each of them just to share a little bit more about them, share their history, you know, where they came from, how they've grown up, and how they've done up to this point. And then I will also do like care videos for each of them in case you're interested in how to care for a bearded dragon or how to care for a leopard gecko. Like I said, I do want this channel to be a lot of fun so you can see the animals, and I also want it to be educational in case you're interested in anything that I do to care for the animals, or if you just have any general questions or concerns on what could possibly work for you. So I have a lot of really fun things coming up, and I really hope that you're going to join us for that. If you would like to follow us on other social medias, we do have an Instagram and a Facebook page. I will link those down below. If you enjoyed this video and meeting all of my animals, then please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button on your way out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.